Örnskoldvik. Örnskoldvik.
I believe this little town of Örnskoldvik is the beginning of what's called the High Coast. And it looks like the word Huga Kusten. This has been our destination today, which is Monday, the 17th of July. We want to take a good look at the high coast area of Sweden. If you look up the words H-O-G-A, that's O with umlauts, and the word Kusten, K-U-S-T-E-N, you'll be able to read something about the high coast. And why is it called a high coast? You'll see that if you get a chance to do the research. But one very interesting point, which Kathleen has noted too, is that the eastern coast here of Sweden is rising geologically very rapid. And the west coast of Finland, across the Gulf, is sinking. This happens to be the Interstate E4, which travels along the east side of Sweden. In just a few minutes, we're going to cross over the High Coast Bridge. A cable suspension bridge. Don't know how good of a view we'll have, but I can see it coming into view now. hope you enjoyed seeing the bridge. Okay, at this moment, we're as yesterday in the rain. We are not in the rain today, but we are heading towards the east, towards the Gulf of Bothnia, but at the high coast area. As you can tell, this is not a low flat area. And I see some cows on the left up here. Look at those Swedish cows.
Milk cows.
I'm sure you saw that one single marshmallow on the left. You know that's hay, right? The Swedes just love to wrap their hay in complete white plastic containers, bags. And here's some more straight ahead.
Oh yeah.
Nice field of them here.
Marshmallows.
I guarantee you they probably taste very sweet too. Oh, no, they don't. The cows like them. And here's the church.
Right here.
Yeah. Or at least this one.
Yeah.
You can pull over there if you want to. Oh yeah, pretty. Nordingra Church and church grounds. You can see the nice cemetery down there. The sun may be a problem for the church, but very nice location for the church along the water. I believe this is just an inland lake, but I'm not sure. So here we are again, still at the Nordingra church grounds. I might walk down and get a better picture of it, but going down towards the water you see a number of little red huts where that car is going. But this appears to be the foundation and ruins for maybe the original church at Nordingra. Obviously it was a church because of the cross there.
It was built and started in circa 1200.
Construction started in 1200.
A church out of stone with 2 rooms. Translated in about 1300 AD, the sacristy is constructed and the narthex. The chancel was widened and extended to the east. In 1400 AD, the nave is extended to the west, with arches and stairs leading to the balcony is added. Toward the end of the Middle Ages, a golden altarpiece of the highest quality arrives, made at Jan Bormann's workshop in Brussels. For a short time, the church is large and beautiful, with a vestment in gold brocade and an altarpiece resembling a dollhouse. In 1523, everything changes when the King Gustav Vasa is crowned. The Catholic world is over. No more art comes from Europe. Slowly the church becomes decrepit and too small, and in 1798 the death sentence falls. It becomes a ruin, a hill with trees and shrubs. In 1938 an archaeological excavation begins. 80 years later the walls are restored and 5 faces from the cabinet are returned to the old church. Christina Christendotter is the woman in the hat on the gravestone with the text Vita est labyrinthius. Life is a labyrinth.
The church was built in 1920, so I'm sure the cemetery was immediately started as well. Now here's a better view of these red huts. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, about a dozen of these huts, but you have no idea what would have been the purpose of these buildings. Okay, my wife Kathleen just remembered why these huts are here. Apparently when people had to travel long distances to church, such as by boat across the lake or wherever they came from, and there were several days worth of meetings at the church, people would spend the night in these little huts. A good secured place to sleep for the night versus traveling back and forth for a multiple day event at the church. They look a little rustic, but they look like a pretty good sized building. So I'm sure even large families could have stayed here. So that's the reason for these buildings. Temporary motel units of the ages past. He's backing up. He's telling you. He flashes lights.
Look at this, isn't that pretty? Homes along the water. This is it, David.
This is it.
I think there's a road down here. Fiscalage. You want to go down there?
Sure.
Sure. As close as we can.
This would be good up here.
Stop up here.
Yeah, we can turn around here.
Okay.
Okay, I guess this is as far as we can go because it's where the water meets the road. And here's a little rowboat that is probably used to enjoy the bay here. But you can see the water is really roughed up a little bit coming in from the Bothnia, the Gulf of Bothnia. But I just wanted to give you a good close-up view of the high coast area where it meets the water. This would be a very nice place to spend the hottest days of the summer in Sweden. It's about as secluded as you can get. But there's plenty of traffic, as you see here. These little cottages are facing east to capture that nice sunshine when there is sunshine. Okay, we are still in the high coast area. This is a little community called Bonham. Let me spell that: B-O with umlauts, M-H-A-M-N. H-A-M-N stands for the word, is equal to the word for port. So we're at the edge of the Gulf that extends into this part of the high coast. I want to show you these little things here, these hooks. I have no idea what these are for, but they look like they have a good solid purpose at some time. Okay, all the little boathouses and cottages, 90% of them are red and white trim, as you would expect for Sweden. Let's take a walk down here, get a little bit closer to the water's edge. And there we are. I see we have some hikers over there out on that little extension of a rock. Quite windy today. The sun makes it pretty comfortable. We have an island here that protects this area. Hey. Hey. Here's a close-up look at the rocks. Now we're at the water's edge. But this island looks pretty neat. It's amazing that there's enough dirt on there to grow such nice trees, because otherwise it definitely looks like it's all granite rock. I'm going to walk out here so you can see some of the sailboats and see the cute little boathouses. Okay, that's all from here. Our video segment of the marshmallows. Can't beat them. And this is a uniquely smaller valley, but there's plenty of good land here for growing some good grass hay for the local cattle. The side of the mountain here looks a little interesting. We're still on the high coast. We are still in the high coast area. This is a little restaurant. Actually a restaurant and a gift shop, as you can see there. This is where we had lunch. Downtown Örnskoldvik, and we find a very interesting apartment complex. What it is, for each apartment there is an outside cubicle glassed in to enjoy the sun on all sides of the apartment building. Okay, this is the port, Örnskoldvik. Looks like it's also Hotelville. There's a large one there. Large hotel there. Some interesting buildings here in Örnskoldvik. Some sailboats here in the port, the harbor. Good morning. Today is Tuesday, the 18th of July. We are standing or find ourselves at the edge of the water again. This is a little white lighthouse that was built in 1957, so it's not real old. But we are east of the town of Örnskoldvik. So let's walk up closer and get a good view of the, again, Gulf of Bothnia. I see a large boat out in the water. Let's see if I can pick it up. There it is. Also, I saw a sailboat, and here it's coming in view. You can also see some nice waves on some, I would say, breakers formed by some boulders underneath the water out there. Because if you look around here, that's all you see amongst the pines. It's some very serious rock. Beautiful granite rock. Maybe you can blow up this image and read at least the right-hand side. It's all in English. Here's a cute little replica of a lighthouse. Not too much walking on the beach here. And you can guess why. In fact, I'm going to take us through the trees here. So you can say this is where the granite rock meets the Gulf of Bothnia. Here is the interesting Gulf-facing side of the lighthouse. Looks like it could use a paint job. Okay, near the lighthouse is this little fishing village of Skepsmallen. Just thought I'd make note of the fact that there's a wind turbine in the background there past the flagpole. We'll walk over here and take a look at the water, the dock area. A little chilly today, but it's not raining. Here you can see some of the local houses, the roofs of them above, behind the boathouses themselves. Quaint little building. Not too many people out today. As you see, there's nobody. Even this little fishing village has its own church. Very small bell tower. But it also has its own cemetery. As you can see here, a couple of stones. Museum. We'll take a walk down to it. Here is a very good example of the historic way that fences were built. Pretty unique. And next we see what looks like maybe a structure that could have been a barn. I see it's fenced off so we can't get into it. What a super farm, what a super fence. This farm is intended to reflect what people in the 1500s would have constructed. Okay, now we've figured out what this park is all about. Here's the kid catching the next one. Here comes another one. Pretty crazy. Here's another example of a thatched roof house and fence. This little boy was being left behind. Now he's running. Looks like on this roof, or this house, the roof was not very big. Really had to bend down and go through those windows. But then the people were much smaller in 1500 than they are today. We're still at the historic farm, but I thought I'd walk through the opening of the woods to see this beautiful lake that's in front of us here. You could have your own picnic here.
Dark out there. Or something. Maybe it's a turn. Pretty good. Crawling up that funny looking ladder.
Okay, this definitely is a zip line park. It's, I would say, the good English term for it. Let's see if we can catch this kid coming across here. Here he comes.
You must tell them to keep their feet kicking.
Notice the green padding on the tree that they reach.